What's going on? It's your man Diamond K, the Diamond K Show on Fire TV. Let me start by saying this. Growing up, LL Cool J was one of my favorite rappers. So I don't want this to get twisted. Just because he's one of my all-time favorite rappers, I don't want this message to get lost. Now, I'm not just saying this because he is a legend. He is was an inspiration to me growing up. That's not even the reason why I'm saying this, but I do understand and I do recognize that it does make me angry because this was supposed to be a big moment for LL Cool J, for MC Lyte, and the Congressional Black Caucus had, they had the president there speaking. Vice President Harris spoke as well. And, when people talk about, he's too old, he doesn't excite folks. These are some of the many examples. These are some of the many reasons why folks feel that the way they do. And I believe that there should be age limits on everything. There is a time when you're too old to play sports. There's a time when you're too old to drive. There's a time when you're too young to do those things. And this man, Joe Biden, is too old to do most things in public. So there's this clip circulating of Joe Biden, and he mispronounces LL Cool J's name, which is strange because you're reading a teleprompter and you've met this man before many times. And I understand that Joe Biden is older, right? But if you're going to be the president, if you're going to be the leader of the free world, you can't even read a teleprompter? I remember when I was in elementary school and they were saying how old Ronald Reagan was and he was forgetting things and all this kind of stuff. This Joe Biden experience is worse. So he mispronounces one of the honorees' name at the Congressional Black Caucus's, their Phoenix Awards. So both LL Cool J and MC Lyte were honored with Phoenix Awards for their musical contributions during this annual ceremony. It was held in D.C. over the weekend. And yes, Biden is facing backlash for the comments that he made. And it's not, he mispronounced his name. I didn't like that. So in instances like that, and I've done public speaking and I've mispronounced things, and you throw a joke in there, you do something to kind of make it lighthearted. And in his attempt to be lighthearted, his true face has to show. And you say in those moments what you really think. So this 52nd annual legislative conference, the Congressional Black Caucus, had Joe Biden there. And Joe Biden said that, well, you know what? Let's have good old Joe tell you himself.
And two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been. And MC Lyte, both of you, thank you.
Yeah, and so he mispronounced his name. And then, to add insult to injury, this old geezer calls him a boy. See, that's what I said. Those are his real thoughts. In moments where you're embarrassed or you mess up or you're trying to cover up, you go to your old trusty stack of words. You go to what you normally would say. When you fluff the prepared remarks and you're going off the cuff, he comes out and says, boy. And he realized in a moment, I shouldn't say boy, the optics of that is crazy. So then he says, man, but it is just one of many reasons why his age and his cognitive, his reflexes are not getting better. They're getting worse. They're not getting better. They're getting worse. And the Democratic Party has this thing, and maybe Republicans have it as well. I just see signs of it with Democrats, that there's this hierarchy, and you do this, you get this, and you support it, and then you get this, and then you move up in the ladder. It doesn't always work like that. Now, even if that was the case, Biden's moment was years ago. Biden should have had the moment that Hillary had back in 2016, because he really pushed it to the end. Now, I understand he had the death of his son, but he missed his moment. I mean, I'm nervous for this country, because the more that time goes by, the chances of a twice impeached, 4 times indicted ex-President Trump, the optics, what are the odds? They're running a 50-50 race. It could go either way, because Joe Biden does not excite, does not instill confidence in anyone. And I fear that the more time goes by, just this year that's coming up, his sensibilities and capabilities and cognitive reflexes could decrease even more, to the point where you have someone who is a doting idiot, or you have Trump, and then folks gonna have to deal with the racism and the lack of inspiring, or how they promoted VP Harris, because she's capable, but they just haven't promoted her right. They haven't allowed her to show what she can do, so she doesn't seem like she's ready to a lot of people. She might do worse than in a head-to-head matchup with the twice impeached, 4 times indicted Donald Trump. That looks crazy. It looks crazy. I don't know, but this is what we are dealing with. We are dealing with a president who I'm just growing to be unsure about by the day. And I already in the beginning, if anybody's followed me for any length of time, Joe Biden was not somebody who I was trying to support. I was rooting for everybody but Joe Biden. And then he became the nominee. And yes, we can give him his gold watch, but he's so out of touch. He's old school, and he's so out of touch that he doesn't understand or won't accept, or his handlers, I don't know who it is, but out here in the streets, outside of the Washington bubble, folks ain't feeling Biden like that. And that's not a good thing. And it's different. Some pollsters will say that when President Obama was running for re-election, people weren't feeling him. And they were saying maybe it should be somebody else. They're always going to have rumblings of saying, could it be somebody else? People are always going to test the waters. But at any political operative that wants to say that President Obama in 2012 or 2011, a year before, felt like President Biden right now, you're an idiot, because it's not the same thing. Okay, it's not the same thing. And I understand that there was a loss in the midterms, and folks were questioning Obama's leadership. I got you on all that. And that during the midterms for Biden's administration, things went well, but that did not make him stronger. I think that a lot of those victories that happened in the midterms were in spite of Biden, not because of him. not because of them. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. Of course, On Fire TV, Radio on Fire. I will be back here a little bit later. This whole